Hello, everyone. We welcome you to another edition of the ConnectWise Friday Field Report. I am Vicki Bruns, joined by ever amazing co-host Will Dowling. How you doing, Will?
I am fantastic. Thanks, Vicki. Yeah, so, we're here. It is another Friday Field Report. I love these things. One, it's finally not 9,000 degrees here in Florida, so it's a wonderful time to be here. Also, you are very bright today.
I am. I wanted to channel the essence of what's going on at IT Nation Connect, which I know we're going to dig into here in a
Yeah.
few minutes. But since there's a '90s theme that's going on Friday, with Tony Hawk opening with a guest keynote, and then another amazing keynote, all sorts of great sessions, wrapping up Friday afternoon, and then heading into Stone Temple Pilots. Yes, there's grunge, but I feel like you're kind of leaning more into the grunge vibe than I did today.
I'm pretty sure I might have actually worn this shirt in the 90s. So it might be actual vintage. Like, you never know. The sleeves are too short, so I rolled them up. So it's a pretty good indicator that I might have actually had this shirt back in the 90s. I never throw anything out.
Question for you. What was your favorite song in the 90s?
Oh my God. You would ask that, wouldn't you?
You want me to go first?
90s songs. Go first, because
okay.
I have way too many songs.
So one of the first VHS tapes I ever got was all of the Bush songs, and it was like Glycerine and Gavin Rossdale.
Oh God, yes.
My Beating Heart. Yes, he was amazing. And then obviously shows like My So-Called Life, Jared Leto. Again, I know I'm going into all of my like teenage heartthrobs, whatever. But tell me a little bit about what you liked. What music were you listening to, Will?
Oh my God, in the 90s, for me, it was a lot of Metallica. I've always kind of been a metalhead, so yeah, it was definitely a lot of Metallica. Of course, Bush was great. Stone Temple Pilots, like, who doesn't love Stone Temple Pilots, right?
Yes.
Also,
yes.
I'm kind of excited about them being at IT Nation, just saying.
Yes, I know. And so we've got our 2022 vibes going on with these trucker hats, but I feel like these are perfect for bringing to the show next week. So if you have one in your closet, folks, make sure that you bring them, because we want to see all of the IT Nation and ConnectWise representation there. So Will, what's been going on for you this week outside of Halloween? I know there's probably a lot of people out there with sugar hangovers today.
Look, for those of you whose children are raging pterodactyls today, like, best of luck to you. No, Halloween was yesterday. I've got 8 million things that I've got to get done before IT Nation, because it's going to be awesome. But we did our Demystifying AI series yesterday. It was awesome. One, it was secretly Kyle Jackson's birthday, and he didn't tell any of us. So belated happy birthday, Kyle. But we also had the ever awesome Tom Lawrence on, and there was some fun stuff that happened that we'll talk a little bit about in a few minutes. So I'm really excited about that one. It was Halloween yesterday, so the wife and I went to the county fair because, why not? It was fun. We had a great time. So
that's very
good
cool.
time. How about you, Vicki? What's new with you?
Well, I've got some updates I want to share. We actually have some slides that we're going to be going through on all the awesome ecosystem stuff leading into the show next week. Outside of that, like you said, it's just prepping, making sure all the presentations and talking points, all of the stuff that's going to be in the ConnectWise booth area and the Solutions Pavilion will be ready to rock and roll. But let's go ahead and share some of the cool stuff that you guys that Kyle created for you on Halloween. Can we do that?
Oh, sure. Oh, yep, there it is. So Kyle decided to create some AI generated promos for this. So here we have probably one of the best ones, Dodgeball, with Kyle, Jessica, our social media manager, Keith Sartain, me, and Tom Lawrence. And then we also have the one that I'm most mad about. I am so mad at how well my face fits on a baby's head. So of course we've got The
You make a pretty
Hangover.
cute baby. I mean, I'm
Look,
just saying.
apparently I have the same head shape as a baby. I did not realize this until yesterday, but apparently it's true. And then of course we have the Fab Four. So this one, I'm just like, wow, we actually look like we fit there, and it's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, AI is getting so good for generating photos of people's faces on
Yeah,
famous people. Bravo to Kyle for putting this together. That is hilarious.
it was
Oh my
great.
goodness.
It was a great session. We got into definitely some spooky stuff in theme of Halloween. Talked about the spooky side of AI a little bit, but it was a really good session. So if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. It's on our social media here for ConnectWise.
Wow, perfect. All right, so check out the live stream on the ConnectWise social media handles. One of the updates I wanted to share before we dive into Connect is Service Leadership has their new compensation survey for 2024. It is, or sorry, 2025. Make sure that you take the survey, because if you do take the survey, then you actually get access to the 400-page report for free when it's published. And it's roughly like a $2,000 value. If we want to get specific, $1,999 value. And the content in this report is really great when it comes to planning your data, your hiring strategies, your recruiting strategies, your retaining strategies for all of your employees. So MSPs, make sure that you are going to Service Leadership website and filling out that report.
Absolutely, it's very important.
Yeah, and I believe some of that data we're feeding into our platform solutions, right? Will?
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely an integration story there to make sure that data is readily available in other solutions that you use through ConnectWise.
100%. And the data is just so useful across the board. Everything Service Leadership does is just great insight into what's going on in the industry, where you're at versus where everyone else is at, and really that kind of pathway for getting you from point A to point B, from where you're at now to a more successful state. So definitely take that survey, be part of that movement to really help raise the tide when it comes to getting great information about our industry and being able to help chart those paths for everybody.
Awesome. All right, so Will, should we get into the Connect updates now? I feel like we've built the
dive into some Connect updates, right? Let's talk about these. So we got the AI pictures shown. We talked about that. Let's just dive right back into our fancy slide deck here and talk through a few other things. So while that's getting brought up, I do just want to go ahead and note there is the All Access Pass still available. Full price is, almost $1,200. The virtual pass, if you can't make it in person, we want you to be there in person, but if you can't, the virtual pass is free. So the virtual pass is awesome. It includes all 6 keynotes, plus I think pretty much every session. I know there are 40 highlight sessions and then hundreds of other sessions that are going to be available. And you'll be able to watch these all the way through February. So, whenever we're talking about what's going on at IT Nation, definitely make sure you join. Even if you can't join us in person, join us virtually. It's going to be awesome because we have over 150 ConnectWise colleagues there and over 50 ConnectWise breakout sessions. 10 of those, are going to be product training specific. So if you need to get your knowledge on and learn more about the products, that's the way to do that. We've got 2 ConnectWise keynotes and a great stable of speakers that you can see down below, including one of my favorite people in the world, the great Laurie Sorensen. So super excited. If you have not ever attended any of these speakers' sessions, do it. You won't be upset about it. Now, in addition to that, okay, shameless self-plug here. We're doing a Demystifying AI for MSP session live at IT Nation, calling it the Beards Edition, which is why I'm growing my beard out a little bit, because currently I do have the baby beard of the group. I'm going to be hosting this session with Kyle Jackson as my normal panelists, but then we've also got the amazing Matt Lee and Jason Slagle both joining us. Great guys, always fun to talk to both of them. And it's going to be a very awesome, very spicy session. So join us for that. at IT Nation. You can sit in our audience live and even ask us questions or, heckle us if you really want to. It's going to be off the chain. So come join us for that. Now, in addition to that, we have some other really great sessions coming up that I want to just highlight real quick. First and foremost, Tony Hawk is going to be there. Like, how awesome is that? Like, I know I'm excited for Tony Hawk.
Yes.
Nikki, you just slight bit of excitement there. Yeah.
I am too. And I also hear that there are going to be signed skateboards that are being given away. I don't know if it's a raffle or how it's working with K9s for Warriors. And I believe there are also some vendors that have some signed skateboards that they're going to be raffling off. So make sure that you check out for those, because you will be able to bring home some Tony Hawk memorabilia if you're lucky.
How awesome is that? I feel like I am actually back in the 90s playing, Tony Hawk Pro Skater right now, except, I'm outside. But like one of my favorite things that I enjoyed from the 90s. Good times. All right. So in addition to Tony Hawk, we have even more awesome speakers that are going to be there. First and foremost, Bob Berg speaking. So if you aren't familiar with the Go Giver, like absolutely look into it. Bob Berg's amazing. It's going to be a really great session, and you should absolutely look at attending that one as well. In addition to Bob Berg, we've also got another speaker here. We'll forward that beautiful slide there. So we're going to have Josh Constantine talk about strategic futurism and how MSPs can win in the AI era. So me being an AI enthusiast and, maybe hosting a show about AI, is very excited for this session. So, AI is a big topic. It's something that a lot of us haven't really fully understood or embraced in the MSP world right now, but it's something that we all need to. So definitely use this time to expand your knowledge on things like that. I'm very excited for this session as well. So, Vicki, what else do we have coming?
Well, we have this other keynote that is taking place on Friday, right after, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, right after the Tony Hawk keynote, and it's activating the platform approach. So we've been working with Jay McBain at Canalys on platform messaging and platform strategy. And there's going to be some content that you do not want to miss in this session, because he's also going to be moderating a panel with these three other amazing men, Jeff Bishop, Ryan Walsh, and Desmond Forbes. And they're representing ConnectWise and Pax8 and Microsoft. And so if you want to come in and you want to hear kind of how Microsoft, you think about Microsoft 365, right? Like they really leaned into that platform strategy, and look how successful that's been for them. And obviously ConnectWise and the ASIO platform, we're really leaning in heavily to that platform approach as well. And Pax8, I mean, they've got an amazing marketplace. They've got some great strategies. So if you bring all of those three together, I don't know if you form the Avengers, but I know that there's a lot of powerful messaging that's going to come out of that. So make sure you don't miss it. It is. It's going to be so excited. So pumped. I'm like, as you can tell, I'm just bubbling under the surface here. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, because there's some other great stuff happening at the show. This is my shameless plug. Like, you had the AI live stream. Yes. So Matt Topper is my co-host for IT Nation Wise Up. It's a community podcast. There are also going to be a lot of other great podcasters that are joining us on site. There's almost like this podcast alley, if you will, when you're walking between the ballroom where the keynotes are taking place and the Solutions Pavilion. So you can't miss it. And, hey, if you're a leader and you've got some great thought leadership, make sure that you're checking out these podcasters, because you may have something to contribute there. And specifically, Matt Topper and I, we had a really cool idea that Jessica Kane and Simon Escobar are going to be helping us out with, which is lightning sessions at the event. So if you are interested in providing feedback and things that that MSPs would find valuable and vendors would find valuable in the community, we want to interview you on site. So reach out to itnationpodcast@connectwise.com. We're going to be recording with video and with audio, and we're going to be launching a special episode following Connect with that input. So we're really pumped up about that. All right. Now, next thing, we've got some ecosystem stuff happening. We've never done this before, but the Ecosystem Lounge is a way for us to celebrate all of the certified integrators that partner with ConnectWise, that integrate into the solutions that you love most, right? ConnectWise PSA, ConnectWise RMM, Automate, the ASIO platform, with more to come, right? And we have a graffiti artist who's going to be joining us. He's going to start spray painting, I think, on Wednesday, right before the IT Nation keynote kicks off, and it's on the way to the ballroom. So he's going to have a massive wall that he's graffitiing, and we also have some swag, some ConnectWise ecosystem shirts that he's going to be splatter painting as well. He's not a spray paint artist; he's a splatter paint, like speed painting artist. So very interesting guy. Anyways, don't miss it because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to have a party with a lot of our event vendors who, on the next slide, you'll see all 40 plus of them that are joining and sponsoring IT Nation Connect are listed here. So they'll be joining us and partying at the lounge, but also they'll have their areas in the solutions pavilion. We'll also have promos if you want a cheat sheet of all the cool giveaways that they're doing on site and things that they're offering. We also have that ready for you as well. Okay, let's go on to the IT Nation Connect. IT Nation Gives. We've had the Canines for Warriors come and show up on site with their dogs. And for the last few shows, I believe they were at Secure, they were at Connect last year. And this is such a great cause. If you haven't heard about it, make sure that you come talk to these folks that are coming out on site. We've got some great activities like dog treat making, which has always been a blast. I feel like dog treats are always made so quickly because everybody shows up and then they get it done within 10 minutes. But yeah, it's going to be really neat. The stories are amazing. These are dogs that they're taking out of these, these dog rescue situations, and they're putting them through this program to become companions to veterans that are coming out of war that have PTSD. And so they partner these wounded veterans and, up with these dogs, and then the stories of how they're able to overcome obstacles and challenges together. It's just like, I don't know, it brings tears to your eyes. Like I'm not going to lie, but it's a really, really great impact on what they're doing to help veterans. So make sure that you check that out and donate. We definitely see you donate. We want to hit that fundraising goal. Okay. Last up, we've got, well, and certainly not last, because there's much more going on at IT Nation Connect, let's be honest, very well. But we've got the GPS Community Cafe, and we've got Susan Rhodes joining us.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. Happy Friday, Connect Eve. So excited to be here with you all. It's always a pleasure when I get to be a guest on your show, and I'm excited to share a little bit about the cafe. I think this is going to be my 10th Connect this year. And I feel like over the years, people think the event actually kicks off at 5 o'clock at the keynote on the first day, but there's so much going on before. So it's really like people should get there Tuesday night, because Wednesday there's all kinds of pre-day events and activities. There's, a PE summit, there's IT Nation Grow. But the challenge, I think, with Wednesday prior is there's so many great competing things to choose from. Yes. So with that said, this GPS Community Cafe is on Wednesday. So it takes place from 9 to 4 prior to the kickoff of the event. And if you aren't familiar with what the GPS team was last year, so we kicked this off last year, and it's really been a partnership and a spark that started, and we've turned it into something amazing. Last year, we had where people could come talk to the GPS team, and we had an event value guide. It was like, and we would walk you through it and help you navigate the event, answer your questions, which then kind of, if you didn't know, that's how the Traveler's Journal was born. So the Traveler's Journal was a result of some of the tools and the collaboration among advisory council members, myself, and our team. And so now we have this amazing journal, and we have all these great tools and knowledge, and we have so many people in the community over the years that, you know, they're on the journey. They've been on this journey. They have so much experience. And if there's one thing I can say about this community is that there is a mindset of, you know, let me share my success with you. Let me walk with you on this path. Let me help you. And I think a lot of people if you're a member of our Evolve peer group community, you understand the power of peer groups and how that can hold you accountable and how it can drive success and the strength that the community gives you to reach your path to success and what you want to achieve. So this is kind of that opportunity, right? It's a one-on-one 20-minute meeting. You must pre-book. So there are 125 appointments available. That's it. They're 20 minutes. We have 25 different guides from all over the community. So we have advisory council members. We have other people from other communities, people who've sold their businesses, people who have, you know, merged businesses, people who have started out as service managers and techs and have worked their way up to, you know, leaders in their teams, or now they're running businesses. So if you look at the list, I wish we could show on here, you know, the Meet the Guides page. But if you do go to, I think we're going to drop it in the chat, right? The GPS Cafe link.
Yep, it's on there. Yeah.
Awesome. So check that out. There's a ton of people to choose from. They are doing this, you guys, out of the goodness of their heart. No strings attached. They're not getting it. They're not, there's no, you know, trick to the trade here. This is purely them giving of their time and their knowledge back to the community. So check it out, book an appointment. And if you're one of the first 50 people to have a meeting, you're going to get one of these awesome mugs.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So check that out. And then since you guys are doing shameless plugs, we also have some amazing fireside chats. So,
wait, Susan, before we dig into that, can you talk about the accountability factor that the GPS guides have?
Yeah. So all of the folks that are participating in this, they are being asked to, they're all doing quite a few meetings, but they've been asked to pick 3 people that they meet with and stay in touch with them for a year. So within 30 days of the event, they have to check in with them. You know, how are you doing? Did you avoid the inspirational cliff? You didn't go back to your team and dump all your ideas, right? You made a plan. You left the event with a focus that's aligned to your strategy. So they have to keep in touch with them. So 30 days after, and then 1 touch point a quarter. So the goal is to get all of these people that are meeting at the cafe to come back the following year, maybe have that aha moment. You know, I've heard so many stories over my years in this community of partners saying to me, you know, the community has been the reason why I've been successful, or I met this one person and it changed the course of my business. Especially, you know, I'll give Carl Bickmore as an example. I mean, a lot of the people that he's met in the community has led to the success of his business and things like that. So I'm so excited about this. This is the warm and fuzzy part of the IT Nation, is that we're all there with a common goal, which is to drive success into the industry, support SMBs, you know, automate more, all of those wonderful things. I get a little excited and verbose, but anyway, you get one of these cool mugs, come by and see me on Wednesday. So listen, if you don't book an appointment and you show up, we may be able to, you know, set you up with somebody, but I'm really pushing everybody to book an appointment, because the guides are going to get your name. They're going to know who they're meeting with. They're going to know a little bit about you because you give us information when you register, right? They're going to know where you come from. So that way in the 20 minutes that you talk, it's not, let's do the name game and the you know, how big's your business. They're going to know a little bit about you, so you guys can dig into that valuable time. Ask your burning questions, you know, come prepared to your conversations about what you want to talk about. So shameless plug while we have a few minutes. So another thing that's going on in this space, this GPS space. So if you're familiar with the event venue, you kind of go up the stairs, that little rotunda. GPS is going to be upstairs to the left. On Thursday and Friday, we're flipping the space around from like a cafe to more of a like intimate session area. So we're going to be holding 4 fireside chats, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. They're like at the end of the lunch hour. So grab and go your lunch, come sit with us. We have 4 amazing stories, and these are unscripted. There's no PowerPoint. It's a person and a microphone. talking to you about their journey and where they've been. So we've got Arlen Sorensen doing one on the power of community and how that's important for your business.
Very cool.
We have Ashley Cooper. If you know Ashley Cooper, she's doing one on her journey as a woman in this industry and where she started and where she is now, and some of the challenges she's faced and the things that she's learned. Dave Mulvey, if you know him, he sold his business last year. He's going to talk a lot about, what happens like when you go from working all the time and you're running a business and then it just stops, right? What do you do? And then we have a great conversation with Mike Hoffman and Tony Thomas from one of our partners at Tome Bravo. So I'm just really encourage you to come check those out. We're always trying to bring different things to the event. The one thing about Connect is there's always these new things we're innovating and trying, and we listen to what our attendees say, and that they want more than just, the same PowerPoint slides up in a room. So anyway, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for having me. Check out the GPS Community Cafe. It's an incredible way to kick off your event. Go have a great conversation before you go into the event and get busy with what you're going to take away from it. So thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us, Susan. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. You are at this point a recurring alumni of the Friday Field Report. So we love having you on here. So as we're wrapping up, just a few things I want to go ahead and shout out as we wrap up. First, and probably the most important in my life, is happy anniversary to my wife. It's 5 years today. So happy anniversary, honey. Second, I want to shout out one of our most consistent longtime watchers, Keith Nelson, and say thank you for continuing to watch us and comment. We love having you, one, on the show when you were able to come, but two, having your comments. So thank you so much for that.
Can we just mention one of the comments that I think is really funny? He said, I was already 100. I was already 100 in the 90s. And he said, cannot wait until next week. I will have my walker packed.
I love it. Love it. Keith, you always bring color. Yep. Yes, absolutely. So if you've never sat down with Keith and listened to some of his stories, like, absolutely find time to do it. He's a great human being. He's also apparently, ancient, centuries old, because he was already 100 in the 90s.
I remember for everybody. Keith came by the GPS team last year at Connect. So I remember you, Keith. I remember you tried to tell me you were Sean Lardo's dad or something like that, and I didn't believe it.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Definitely. Yeah, if you meet a guy who tells you he's Sean Lardo's dad, good chance that's Keith Nelson. So until next time, everybody, we'll be back on Friday, November 15th with more updates, probably some findings from Connect, and lots of other fun stuff. So until next time, stay calm, touch grass. Have a great one, everybody.
Have a good one.